Okay. You were right to get started, and then some more people come in a minute, yeah? Okay, amazing. Okay, welcome everybody. 4 o'clock, where has the day gone? I can't believe it. So, we are so grateful to Lightning Fibre for being one of our main sponsors of this event today. Really couldn't have gone ahead without you guys. And I am honoured to welcome Stefan Stanislawski. Have I pronounced that right? Stanislawski? Okay, I'm sorry. Their CEO. Stefan has enjoyed a long career in telecom finance and strategy across over 70 countries. Stefan started the regulatory revolution that now enables Lightning Fibre and Connect Fibre, both of which he is CEO, to use existing OpenReach infrastructure to create new full fibre networks whilst minimising disruption to residents and businesses. He is proudly involved with a fibre development project in Zambia that is bringing better and cheaper broadband, including donating connections to local schools. It's a pleasure to have you here today, Stefan. Thank you, and over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Yes, Lightning Fibre, as you know, is the best broadband company in Eastbourne, Hastings, Heathfield, and a few other places. And I've been in the business now for, I think, about 18 months, something like that. The company's been going 5 years and has built up a really superb network with a great customer service, which I saw the Lush presentation before. Customer service, I think, was something they emphasized as crucial. So I'm just going to spend a few minutes going through what full fibre broadband is and the history, and the next challenge for us all, particularly everyone in the digital sector, is what can we do with this fantastic new capability that we're getting. So, okay, there's another photo of me. Zambia, by the way, I think we think we have problems in this country. At the moment, they have power cuts or load shedding, as they call it, lasting up to 17 hours every day. So that is a massive challenge, stroke killer for the digital sector there. There's simply no electricity because they've had a drought. So solar is the next thing we're going to provide in Zambia. Anyway, back to England. So there's the map. You can see we're a very strongly embedded local company. The two blue dots, Brighton and Worthing, we've just started selling our service there on another infrastructure by a different company called City Fibre. But the service that you get and the Wi-Fi device you get and the customer service, the relationship and the support, that's all the same as it is on our own network in Eastbourne, Hastings, Helsham, and so on. I've forgotten somewhere as well. Heathfield. Tenterden in Kent, yeah, absolutely. So I realise now I can't read my own timeline because it's too... So there was a time when, not that long ago, where this country, and I said this at some conference, it was picked up in the press, although it was attributed to the lady who ran Talk at the time. I'd just been to Kazakhstan on a fibre project. Kazakhstan, which was, seen by people in this country as the land of Borat, a fictional comedy character from the 90s. Right? That had much better broadband than Britain. So our regulatory system and the sort of short-term financial management of BT OpenReach had left us stuck with a very old network that was rapidly becoming unfit for purpose in the modern age. And because of Brexit, the government at the time had a moment of panic, thinking our infrastructure in many areas is not very good. And luckily in telecoms, that was much easier to fix than it seems to be with potholes or motorways or airports, right? So in telecoms, there's actually a relatively tried and tested international solution. That was the regulatory revolution, which was to make it practical for companies like ours to use part of the OpenReach infrastructure and improve it. So we build some of our own infrastructure with our own ducts and things under the ground, and we use some OpenReach infrastructure, which is a cost-effective way of doing things and minimizes disruption for residents and businesses. But we use only optical fibre, which is the new thing, replacing copper. It has fantastic capability. It's much more efficient. It's also much more reliable than copper. And so this whole revolution was started around the time of Brexit. It had been bubbling away a little bit before. And you can see some of the development milestones there. You can see that the UK as a whole went from about 10% availability of fibre in 2019, which was very, very low. Like in Sweden, they finished the job about 20 years ago, I think, or 15 years ago. We're now at 80-something%, and the availability even in rural areas, which are obviously more difficult and expensive to serve, that's also going up because the government is spending money subsidizing companies to fill in all the gaps. So the national infrastructure is getting modernized. A little bit later than some other countries, but actually because of companies like Lightning, that process is going much faster than it did in many other places. So we are now getting a much better modern infrastructure we can do more with. Ultimately, it should also cost less to run. That's why prices for broadband, sadly from my point of view, have not really gone up as much as perhaps some of us would like. But that's good news for you, the customer. So we're on this journey. The whole country's on this journey. The next thing that's going to happen is the telephone network, the old copper telephone network, is going to be switched off. It's happening step by step. So everybody's now going to have a digital phone. And then you have issues like the copper line, as you may know, powers the phone. So if there's a power cut, your fixed line phone would work. That won't be the case in the future, hence the interest in batteries and all sorts of other things, particularly for older people or vulnerable people. And you have to accommodate alarm systems and so on that have been around for many years. They all have to be modernized. But that switching off of the fixed phone network is a slow process, but it's underway. It's all driven by the regulator. And we offer a modern telephone digital service along with many other companies. So we're helping move the country from the old to the new and much better. Why should anyone be interested in full fibre? What are the benefits? Fundamentally, you're sending a laser beam down a very thin piece of glass, and that allows you to carry a huge amount more data than you could before. So on a copper line, you might get, if you were very lucky and you lived in exactly the right place and it wasn't raining, you might get 75 meg. Usually you might get 3, 4, 10, 15. We now have a service where you can deliver 2,000 megabits per second, 2 gig, to each home. And unlike the old technology, which is more downstream and a slower speed upstream, ours is symmetric. So if you're in the media business or you just like uploading a lot of your own videos to TikTok or whatever it might be, that all goes very quickly, right? So it's symmetric. You can work at home exactly as if you're in the office, a futuristic office at that. The stability is great. So, again, copper lines subject to water ingress, as it's known in the trade. So basically, if it rains, the service will become a lot less reliable, certainly in rural areas, particularly where maintenance wasn't so good. That doesn't happen with fibre. It's a very stable service. It also is very snappy, so it has low latency. So if you're a gamer, you're getting your shots fired in your game faster than somebody who's still on copper, right? By enough milliseconds to notice and to make a difference to your score. So these are all technical performance benefits, and yet the price is not really any higher. It's often lower than some of the legacy copper packages that people might have been on for a long time. We are very cost competitive. We charge a fair price for excellent service with real human customer service that works very well. And as I said, we're also carrying voice service. We have our own, which works very simple tariffing, great for businesses as well. And the whole system, eventually, once copper is got rid of, will be much more energy efficient. So we're a green company in the sense that we're reducing the nation's consumption of electricity, and of course, by enabling people to work flexibly, hybrid working patterns, reducing travel and all of those other good things. As everybody's moving over to fibre, gradually, the question now becomes, what are you going to use all that extra speed and capacity for? And there's no single answer, of course. There's no killer app. It's just lots of things. But we're already at the stage where the average house in Britain has, I think it's 9 to 28 different devices connected, all of which put a load on your Wi-Fi, which is why we have invested a lot in our Wi-Fi technology. We're going to upgrade it further soon. And there was somebody I was talking to the other day, was a customer, they had 50 devices in their house, even an internet-connected fridge. I don't know what the benefit of an internet-connected fridge is, but they have one, and I'm sure over time we'll all end up having internet-connected fridges, as well as many other things, right? So the number of devices in your home starts to increase. You better have a very good, not just a network, but a router in the home which can handle all of that. And you also need to have a company that cares about cyber security, because each of those little devices, like your fridge, is probably not going to get updated very often. So you need to have cyber security. You need to have an ISP like Lightning on your side to keep your home safe from being hacked and used and misused in different ways. So that's what we're about. We're moving slowly into the era of the smart home for consumers. We're supporting much better entertainment, 8K videos becoming more common, and so on and so forth. Right? All of these things need a lot of speed, which is what we deliver. I think in businesses, there's a whole load of opportunities, right? I mean, we've all started to work partly from home. You can be a lot more productive. You can be networked globally. It wasn't this supermarket, but recently I went into a fully automated convenience store like you see there with Amazon, right? So that's using modern technology to have no staff, right? That's the opposite of our ethos, because we have real people in customer service, but there's certain businesses that might make a lot of sense, right? The store can remain open much longer hours, and that's of a benefit to its customers. So if you start to adopt the new technology, you can do some pretty impressive things, right? It was quite easy to use. It wasn't actually that one, but the supermarket I went into, it was really easy to use. You walk in, you just wave your phone on the way in. The cameras around the store and tracking your phone know what you've got. And I didn't try sneaking anything in my pocket, because obviously it could backfire, but I believe it's a very secure system. And you wave your phone on the way out to pay, you've got your goods, and it could be 24 hours a day. So that's a huge step up in retail productivity. It wouldn't suit every store, but it's an example of testing what you can do with a new technology in a business, right? And any business or any activity can be subject to the same kind of improvements. One of my other activities is smart water metering in a different company. And so they're looking at leak detection and so on by measuring flows of water at different points of the network with these little radio devices that connect back into a fiber network. And that will help us, the nation, tackle its looming water crisis as our population goes up and we don't bother with any new reservoirs. Health is another example. So in the US now, there are several services they're branded as telemedicine. How effective they are, I don't really know, but the point is you can see a specialist with high-definition video. You can usually have, it depends on your condition, right? But you have monitoring stuff connected up. The specialist can see patterns maybe in your heart rhythm or whatever it is that they're measuring. And in the future, that will become a lot more sophisticated and developed. You'll be able to plug in directly to AI if there are visible symptoms, or you have sensors that might check various things, whether it's the blood or skin conductivity or whatever it might be. I'm involved with an AI business in medicine, but that's more hospital-based. But again, that relies on networking and mobile devices to code patients as you go around, and then you can pick up early warning signs of somebody changing a risk category. So in all hospitals, it's not just in ours, there's a thing called acute kidney injury. And that's if you see on TV somebody being hydrated, if that's not done properly or in time, that's one of the things you can get, right? You can get serious kidney injury. And the AI system that this other company sells I'm involved with, they monitor the regular measurements that nurses take, and they can tell whether somebody's low risk, they go to medium risk to high risk, and they can tell the staff, this person's suddenly changed their risk profile, and nothing will be visible, right? It's one of those conditions where you can't actually see much going on until it's too late. So lots of little improvements like that are going to spread through medicine and, of course, commercial equivalents in business. And they all need networking and intelligence and software to make those things work. Even in buildings themselves, there's a lot of stuff that can be done now to make buildings more energy efficient. Not long ago, I met a company. This is actually just after the pandemic, and they were measuring the actual use of an office, and then they were trying to, they had I don't know if this worked commercially, but it had a pricing offer which was we'll only charge you cleaning based on the number of people that have used the office. And they measured without knowing the individuals, obviously, the flow of traffic into toilets and so on, right? So they could optimize the cleaning. I don't know whether they could really save a lot of money, but it's an interesting idea, taking a very basic commercial service that we all use in business, office cleaning, and trying to add digital value and a variable price depending on demand, and optimizing the timing, right? Even a very traditional, to my mind, relatively simple activity can be changed and improved with digital technology. And this is, the fundamental infrastructure that allows all of this is the fiber and the internet, and then all the devices that can support, radio and other types of sensor. Anyway, solar energy, that can be linked into your systems. A lot of you will have Ring doorbells or equivalent, right? So security is a big thing, particularly in businesses opening up certain parts of a facility or business to only the people are authorized. Climate control, measuring air quality in buildings is becoming easy to measure the quality of the air in this room, for example, and do something with the ventilation if it's not very good. Although it seems good at the moment. It's not a criticism, I'm just saying it's possible technically. And that will improve everybody's working environment and productivity and quality of life fundamentally. So there's a lot of things that need to be done, because that creates opportunity for the whole digital sector, right? Once you have this fiber coming in, and also upgrading mobile networks and a few other technologies that feed off the fiber, it creates a whole new series of services and software applications and business opportunities, even in office cleaning potentially, new ways of selling your service or presenting it to gain market share and be more productive and ultimately more profitable. So we are a great enabler of all of those things with our network. And that's about it. I don't have any magic answers on what you should do in your own business, but clearly you should be using Lightning Fibre if you're in this area. By far the best broadband. The team is here. Customer service is excellent. Prices are good. And the network is very, very reliable. And we put money into making sure that it will continue to be reliable for years to come. So that's it. And I think I've just underrun slightly.
Keeps to time. There you go. Thank you so much, Stefan. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.